there, everybody. It's Ellen Weatherford.
And Christian Weatherford.
And this is Just the Zoo of Us, your favorite animal review podcast, where we rate your favorite animals out of 10 in the categories of effectiveness, ingenuity, and aesthetics.
We are not zoological experts, but we try our best to bring the best and most accurate information that we can.
And this episode is going up on Christmas Eve.
Mm-hmm.
So this is your festive holiday episode. We are recording this in advance so that we will have it up for you on Christmas Eve. But just as a little programming note, there will be no new episode next week because Christian and I will be in Florida visiting our family and hanging out at Disney World.
Next week is Christmas Eve, though. So wait.
Yes, the episode is going up next week.
Uh-huh.
But nobody's listening to it today. They will be listening to it next week.
Yeah, but
so when people, yes, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people listening.
Oh, because I see. I just traveled through time, listener.
And that's what you chose to do?
Be confused about a trivial thing.
You had so much power. You could have stopped 6'7" from becoming a thing. And but no. For the listener, as of posting, there will be no new episode for the week of New Year's because we will be quite busy doing holiday stuff, visiting family, darting back and forth across the country and all that. But we're recording this in advance of our trip so that this will be out for you so you can listen to it while you're, I don't know, wrapping any last minute presents or driving around to go see your family or whatever it is that you're doing for the holidays.
Yeah. Or when you're making last minute trips out into the wild.
Good luck. We're in a particularly rough spot right now because we live in Western Washington, in one of the areas affected by some more severe weather than we're used to in the pretty temperate Pacific Northwest. So on top of the regular holiday traffic, on top of that, there's also road closures and flooding and landslides, and it's a nightmare up here, you guys. We're okay. We're safe.
Oh, yeah.
We're not, we are in a high elevation area. We're not at risk of flooding, but a significant portion of our city is underwater at the moment, which is impacting traffic patterns and making everything pretty hectic right now. So hope that everyone is doing okay from that. We're all right.
Yeah.
We're fine. And we're going to Florida next week.
We're taking the Ted Cruz out.
Cancun, here we come. Hope this works out for you guys. And so since this episode is going up on Christmas Eve, I wanted to do something festive, something in the spirit. So I am talking about the sea angel.
Sea angel.
Yeah, do you know what a sea angel is?
Is this the one that's in Animal Crossing?
They are in Animal Crossing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think so.
Did you catch one in Animal Crossing?
I did.
Yeah. We all shared an island in our family on Animal Crossing, so it's hard to remember who caught what.
That's kind of you to put it that way.
You had a lot of things in the museum. A lot of things in our museum said caught by Christian.
I had a tiny dark corner covered in random
Oh my God.
furniture.
You and Isaac both had and you put your houses right on the beach too. In the most obvious, would have been scenic, picturesque spots. You put your raggedy, run down little hut that you never upgraded, and you just randomly put some rinky dink random basketball hoop and rubber ducky and a lawn chair out in front.
Yeah, I was going to say lawn chair, mini fridge, Godzilla statue, front yard.
I had such an aesthetic island. It was so cute. I had a theme park and a bakery and a cafe and a little flower shop and everything. And then there's Christian's beachfront disaster.
I'm the trash man.
Made me so mad.
I'm surprised you didn't evict me, honestly.
I was thinking about it. I was thinking about wiping the whole island at one point. I was like, this has to be cleansed with fire, I think.
So, sea angel.
Yeah, so sea angels. Mostly the species Cleone limacina.
Okay.
Maybe Clione. It's Clione. There are many species of sea angels, and they belong to the clade Gymnosomata. But I'm going to say Clione because it sounds the prettiest to me. Clione limacina is the one that there is like the most research about. There's the most information out there about them. The species was not submitted, but I thought it felt seasonally appropriate because they evoke the imagery of either, a Christmas tree topper. A lot of people have like an angel on top of their Christmas tree.
Yes.
My mom has all of her Christmas tree ornaments are angels. She has like an angel theme to her Christmas tree. So that's what I always think of. I got for Christmas this year. She's not going to listen to this before she opens it, but I got her a biblically accurate angel ornament. So it's like a bunch of wheels with eyes and stuff. So yeah, angels I think are a common like Christmas tree imagery, and also snow angels. Right. So for people who maybe are getting some snow this Christmas, maybe you might be laying down in the snow and making some snow angels, which our kids love to do. So I think the silhouette is evocative of the snow angel.
Now, how big are these guys? I remember being surprised here.
Really?
Yeah.
In what direction?
That it felt like they were depicted larger than they actually are.
It's the same as with a lot of animals that live in the open ocean, a little bit into the deep sea, but they can be found a little closer to the surface as well. But when you have an animal that is just kind of free floating out in the ocean like this, you run into a visual problem of scale.
Yeah.
Because usually there's nothing nearby to compare them to, so you don't really get a good sense of how big these things are. The biggest one only gets to like 1 or 2 inches long. So these things are very, very small. Most of them are smaller than that. That's like the biggest one is like 1, maybe 2 inches long. So they're itty bitty little guys. I'm getting my information also from the Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute and the Smithsonian National Museum of Natural History. And I suspect that by the end of this episode, you might think they should be renamed to sea devils.
Ooh.
There's some sinister secrets lurking beneath. They're hiding some demons. So sea angels can be found worldwide in oceans all over the planet. The Clione limacina is mostly found in cold polar waters. So actually they can be found off the coast of Washington, but there are species of sea angels all over the world. Now I'm going to show you a picture of a sea angel because I suspect you haven't seen one in a while. And I'm going to see what you think it is, like taxonomically. Like what kind of critter do you think this is? First, I'm going to describe it a little bit. It is a see-through, transparent creature with a sort of silhouette think like a minimalist angel, right? It has the sort of almost a mermaid tail, but without like the lobes at the end. It has these wing shapes out to the side in the middle that aren't like sort of articulated wings. They're sort of blobby. And then it's got a round little head with what look like kitty cat ears poking out of the top. So what kind of creature do you think this is?
I think I'm landing somewhere in the sea slug or like jellyfish ballpark.
Those are extremely different things.
Vibe.
That would be like if you were like, it might be something like a mammal or like a fish.
Yeah. Well, then, I guess I'm leaning more towards jellyfish.
You should have trusted your gut, I think, because you had it right the first time. It's a sea slug.
Okay.
But I do definitely see especially resemblance to things like the immortal jellyfish or like a comb jelly or something, how they have like a see-through exterior, but you can see you can see straight through their like outside parts. You're looking at their organs, basically. So I think that definitely looks a lot like some types of jellyfish we talked about. So they are gastropods, so they are distantly related to other snails and slugs. They are in a taxonomic order called Pteropoda, which are free-swimming sea slugs and sea snails. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the words slug and snail.
Yeah.
Because slugs and snails are not separate families.
Okay.
They're more like morphological descriptions. So slugs are just types of gastropods who have over time either lost or internalized their shells. And this has happened many times independently throughout the sort of gastropod lineage. So, for example, land slugs, like our banana slugs that we have here in Washington, are more closely related to things like garden snails than they would be to a sea slug. Even though we call them both slugs, they're more closely related to snails.
Sure.
Because those are just descriptions of their body. They're basically just like snails that lost their shells. So, in fact, the pteropod group is split up into two groups. So there's the sea angels, which do not have shells as adults, and sea butterflies, which do have shells, although they're like paper thin. They're like transparently thin, but they have them still. They have those hard calcium carbonate structures that protect them. Now that distinction is important because both of these groups will be very important during this episode.
Okay.
So sea angels, no shells. That's the one we're talking about. Sea butterflies have shells. In Animal Crossing, they call these sea butterflies. And you see these terms kind of used interchangeably all over the place.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'm going to stick to calling these sea angels and only using sea butterflies for the ones with shells. It's important for this purpose.
Any chance that the language localization played a hand in that?
I don't know, because I'll talk about this a little bit later, but I don't know what like the Japanese word for these animals is, but they are much more common in Japanese pop culture than they are in ours.
Okay.
So maybe the language for that was just known better. But yeah, I don't know why they use sea butterfly in Animal Crossing, but for the purposes of this episode, because they will come up frequently. So I'm going to use that language a little more consistently.
Okay.
Now, there are a few reasons why a gastropod species like a slug might lose their shell, right? Because as far as I know, like the fossil record seems to suggest that they all started off with shells.
Okay.
These like big spiraling shells. And over time, throughout the gastropod family tree, many lineages have lost their shells. We've got slugs on land, we've got, marine slugs. So can you think of any reasons why they might want to lose a shell? Like what evolutionary pressures might incentivize the loss of a shell?
Perhaps lack of required minerals to create them, like calcium.
Yeah, they do. That is a big calcium sink. Yeah.
What else are they going to put it in?
No
bones.
Yeah, no bones. Yeah, that could be one. There's some other reasons that would be a little bit more like ecological, I guess, more like behavioral.
Oh, okay. I was going back to more physical things like perhaps changing water pH that affects shells differently.
I'm going to talk about that later.
Okay.
I am going to talk about that part of it later. So I'm glad you bring that up. Okay. But so some of the more like behavioral, like lifestyle changes that could incentivize the loss of the shell would be things like living underground. So like for terrestrial slugs, they tend to, spend a lot of time burrowing into the ground, like to overwinter, maybe to like survive the winter. They burrow into the ground. And as you can imagine, that's a little difficult to do when you got a big old backpack.
So that's where they go.
Yeah.
It makes sense. I just never thought about it.
I was thinking recently, I was like, where are my banana slugs at? Because these things are huge, and I think they're hard to miss.
Yeah, they're not like hiding under a bush or something.
Because I've checked. They're not there. Trust me. And our banana slugs are like the size of your hand. Yeah. So like you would definitely see that. It's weird that you don't see them for like a huge part of the year.
Right.
But yeah, a lot of slugs go underground. So it would make sense that you would, if you're going to be squeezing and tunneling through tight spaces, you want a more streamlined body plan. So losing the shell helps with that.
Sure.
Another one is to prioritize mobility. So if it's more important to you to move fast, then you want to get rid of some of that excess baggage. You don't want to be lugging around this big, giant, hulking shell. So if you got to go fast, you might want to, shed the shell. So often slugs that have lost these shells, they might be predatory. So it might be better for them to go fast so they could catch prey. This would be things like worms or maybe other snails.
Slower snails.
Much slower snails, yeah. Which brings me into effectiveness, which for anyone, if this is anyone's first time listening to this podcast, the first category we rate animals on, this is physical adaptations, things built into the animal's body that let it do a good job of the things it's trying to do. I'm giving sea angels a 7 out of 10. So, like I mentioned just a second ago, a lot of times slugs lose their shells so that they can go faster. And sea angels are surprisingly fast.
Yeah.
Especially for, what we consider to be a slug. Probably the most noticeable trait of the sea angel are their wings, right? They have these blobby little, they look kind of like fins. I feel like the fins of a fish that they flap to swim through the water. The wings are actually called parapodia, and they are a modified version of the muscular structure that makes up the foot of most other gastropods.
Okay.
So the whole reason they're called gastropods is they have a stomach foot, right? This is like a sort of muscular structure on the bottom of snails and slugs that lets them stick onto things or move around. It's a locomotory structure. So in sea angels, they have modified theirs to form these wings. And they can swim surprisingly fast, at least fast enough to catch their favorite and only prey, their shelled cousins, the sea butterflies.
Oh.
They only eat sea butterflies.
Interesting.
They are hyper specialized. So at least this species, Cleone limacina, is hyper specialized in eating not even sea butterflies, but one specific species of sea butterfly. Okay. And it can be different depending on where they are. So when they're closer to the poles, they eat one species. And when they're closer to warmer tropical waters, they'll eat a different species, but they are hyper focused. They have one thing and one thing only that they eat. And it is this one species of sea butterfly.
They know what they like. I respect that.
Listen, I get it. You know what? You got to save food. I get it. Sometimes I don't want anything but buttered noodles. I feel it. It's fine. So sea angels are built specifically for griefing sea butterflies, which I really respect. The problem with this sort of hyper-specific diet, the word for this is monophagy. They only eat one species. They only eat one thing. The problem with this is that because of the natural population cycles of the sea butterfly, sometimes there's tons of them, sometimes there's none of them. That's just a normal thing for populations of an animal. Sometimes the sea angel just has no food. They're all gone. Or they're, just at that point in their reproductive cycle where there's no adults around for them to eat. So they're just out of luck. So experiments in labs have actually shown that sea angels can survive for up to a year without eating anything.
Whoa.
So they're sticking to their guns. Listen, we have kids. We've seen this play out in real time, right? If I can't have chicken nuggets, I'm eating nothing.
Yeah.
I'd rather starve.
Bet.
That's funny to me because imagine if you could only eat McRibs. This is what it's like. You only eat McRibs. You can't eat anything else. So once they're gone, you got to just tough it out till the next cycle, till the next time they come around. And you never know when that's going to be.
Yeah.
Could be 6 months. Could be 3 years. You don't know. You know what's going to happen, though.
Yeah, definitely not never.
But every time they say it's never coming back.
Limited time only.
Limited time only. You'll never get this opportunity again.
Don't we all have limited time?
Aren't we all limited time only? Oh, in the paper, I got that information on their ability to withstand long periods of starvation. It's called Exceptional Long-Term Starvation Ability and Sites of Lipid Storage of the Arctic Pteropod Cleone limacina by Marco Boer et al. In Polar Biology in October of 2006. So the sea angel can go long periods of time without eating, but once they do catch up to the sea butterfly and they're ready to go in for the kill, something occurs. And I'm going to show you the video first.
Okay.
Because I don't want to spoil it by describing it. So I want you to see it first, and then we'll talk about it, about what's happening here. Okay, here we go. I have to sit through what appears to be an AI-generated Walmart ad first.
Oh, good.
All right, just hit play when you're ready.
Oh. What's happening here?
It's incomprehensible, right?
It slap.
It's Lovecraftian, I feel, in nature.
But how can it slap?
So what's happening? So once the sea angel is ready to go in for the kill with a sea butterfly, because keep in mind, the sea butterfly has a shell. Also, I didn't mention this already, but like the sea angel, they also have wings. And they also like flap through the water just like the sea angel does. Big difference is that the sea butterfly has a big coiled shell on it. So the sea angel has to get the sea butterfly out of its shell. So once the sea angel comes up to the sea butterfly, 6 tentacles that are called buccal cones burst out of the sea angel's mouth, mind flayer style. This is like instant. It is such a fast sort of like eruption of tentacles. And also, like I mentioned, these things are very like see-through. They're transparent. For the life of me, can't figure out where these things were before they did this. Like you'd think they'd be all zooped up in there. You should be able to see them, right? You can see everything else. So these tentacles just kind of materialize and wrap around the sea butterfly and pull it in. And they also kind of maneuver it, like move it around so that the opening of the shell is facing the sea angel's like mouth.
Yeah.
So the sea angel's mouth is also equipped with a couple of things specialized for eating sea butterflies. First of all, hooks. They have these little hooks made of chitin that come out. They like protract these hooks and scoop the body of the sea butterfly out of the shell. Like reach in, hook into it, pull it out of the shell. Like, I don't know, you eat mollusks, right? There's some you eat like this, right? Don't you have to zoop some of them out of the shell?
I mean, it's been a long time, but the last time I had snails, like French prepared,
escargot.
Yeah, that's the word. I didn't have to like really zoop them. They were just kind of sitting in a shell loose. I assume part of the cooking process involves disconnecting it like from any kind of connective tissue or whatever.
I don't know what that culinary process is like.
I don't know. I like it though, but mostly because it's just a butter boat.
A vessel for butter.
Yeah.
It's the seasoning for the butter. Well, sea angels like them too, but they just kind of yank the bad boys out. They also have like other gastropods. They have something called a radula, and this is common to like, you see this in snails also. This is not exclusive to them. It's sort of like a long ribbony sort of tongue, and it is covered in rasping spiny teeth. So kind of like a cat's tongue. And those work together to pull their victim out of their shell and swallow them. It's pretty horrifying, I think. They look the speed of it is so like unsettling to me. It's very Cthulhu monster-like. We just watched the new season of Stranger Things, and it reminds me a lot of like the Demogorgon sort of stuff in that.
Okay.
I don't know. I thought it was pretty viscerally horrifying. I don't know. You seemed unfazed by it. I thought you were going to have a stronger reaction to it than you did.
Well, it was also kind of hard to see what was going on between the two.
It is a battle between two sort of...
What's the opposite of a titan?
Titan. Yeah, so I think they're a little bit more of a biblically accurate sea angel.
Okay.
Be not afraid.
You can't be afraid if you're dead.
Well, I'm glad that I'm not like half an inch long.
Yeah.
Now, here's something interesting. Some sea angels in the species Cleone antarctica actually produce their own chemical defenses.
Oh.
So they create a unique compound that's actually specifically a fish deterrent. Like it is a compound they produce that is like, it tastes bad to fish basically and makes them not want to eat sea angels. Now this is really unusual in gastropods. We've discussed a very long time ago a sea slug called Glaucus atlanticus, the blue dragon sea slug, that accumulates venom from the prey that it eats. Do you remember that?
The siphonophore.
Well, I think it was the man-o-war.
The man-o-war, that's what it was.
Yeah, it was a Portuguese man-o-war. So the sea slug would eat the Portuguese man-o-war, tentacles and all, and not metabolize, but kind of like store the venom in its own body.
Bioaccumulate.
Yeah, and it would hold on to it and basically like weaponize it and use it for its own venom. I guess at that point it's a poison, right? Because no, it was a venom because it could actually like sting you on contact.
I'll have to consult the monster manual.
The monster manual. Now, does the monster manual differentiate between venom and poison?
No.
Boo.
Not in terms of damage type, at least.
Oh, you know what? I know it doesn't because I know that they have snakes listed as poisonous snakes in the monster manual. Makes me mad every time I see it.
Wait, no. They fixed this, I think.
They did? In the 2024 edition?
I think so. I'd have to double check, though.
They got my letters. Dear Gary Gygax.
Long dead, but...
To whom it may concern.
Hasbro? Something.
Whoever owns this company now. So we've talked about a sea slug that uses another organism's toxin for its own defenses. But this is unique in that the sea slug is actually synthesizing its own chemical deterrent. It's in-house. It's made in-house. They're making their own. Now, there is, to add another layer to this, a type of tiny crustacean called an amphipod. The species is Hyperiella dilatata, and they have learned to catch the sea angel, which doesn't eat them, so doesn't really have any means of defending itself from the amphipod. And the amphipod bends a set of its legs backwards around its back and holds the sea angel against its back like a backpack.
Okay.
And carries it around.
Huh.
Because fish won't eat it.
Oh.
So the amphipod is basically like using the sea angel as a little meat shield, as a hostage. Now, what I don't know is which one is at that point sort of driving. Like, which one has the steering wheel at that point? I don't know if the sea angel is strong enough that, like, the sea angel is the one that's controlling their movement, or if the amphipod is controlling the movement. Because I think that's going to change how I feel about this interaction. Because if the amphipod is the stronger one and is like in charge of the movement here, this is a hostage situation. Like, you've just kidnapped this man. But if the sea angel is still in charge, then I guess that's just kind of an annoyance at that point.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's just an undismissible companion.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a quick break to hear from a couple of our friends on the Maximum Fun Network, and then we'll talk about ingenuity, aesthetics, and other stuff for sea angels.
If you like too many podcasts, you'll love Soundheap with John Luke Roberts. It's got clips from all your favourite podcasts, such as Diary of a Tiny CEO.
Leonard Sprague, tell me how you make your money.
I go to the beach and I steal people's towels.
Remember Armour.
Do you remember the trend of everyone whacking themselves on the head with hammers and mallets when they wanted to lose weight?
And Elty John's Lobberly Songs.
I'm here today with Kiki D. Hello, Kiki D.
Hello, Elton.
There's dozens of episodes to catch up on, and brand new episodes going out right now. So, if you want far, far, far too many podcasts, then look for Soundheap on Maximum Fun. Boop boop.
All right, we're over 70 episodes into our show. Let's learn everything. So let's do a quick progress check. Have we learnt about quantum physics?
Yes, episode 59.
We haven't learned about the history of gossip yet, have we?
Yes, we have. Same episode, actually.
Have we talked to Tom Scott about his love of roller coasters?
Episode 64.
So how close are we to learning everything?
Bad news. We still haven't learned everything yet.
We're ruined!
No, it's good news as well. There is still a lot to learn.
Woo!
I'm Dr. Ella Hubber.
I'm regular Tom Lum.
I'm Caroline Roper, and on Let's Learn Everything, we learn about science and a bit of everything else too.
And although we haven't learned everything yet, I've got a pretty good feeling about this next episode.
Join us every other Thursday on Maximum Fun.
The next category that we rate animals on is ingenuity. These are behaviors, things the animal is doing with their body to solve problems they face, navigate their world, things like that. I'm giving sea angels a 3 out of 10. Which is about par for the course for a slug, I feel like. Usually not a ton going on in the old noggin. I mean, in this case, you can see the lack of activity. You can see there ain't nothing happening in there.
Just eat.
Now, they do have some interesting behaviors that I did give them some points for, although I can't really say that they're incredibly intentional. They're just interesting to me. So one of them is that sea butterflies So the prey that they eat, right, the shelled sea butterflies, feed by casting out a net, like a web made of mucus. This is actually similar to the pig butt worm we talked about, I think, a couple months ago.
Yeah.
They basically like spit out a big like web of sticky mucus, and then that mucus catches a bunch of plankton in it, and then they slurp it all back up.
Yeah.
Which sounds delicious, I know.
I feel like I've seen related creatures do this, like a sea cucumber type.
Well, we just talked
situation.
about the pig butt worm a couple weeks ago doing this.
I guess I'm talking about a video I've seen recently of
Oh.
what looked like a sea cucumber
Yeah, maybe.
doing this kind of maneuver.
It also reminds me a little bit of how like sea stars eat by like inverting their stomachs out and like
Yeah.
wrapping their stomach around something and then pulling it back in. But in this case, it's a little bit more like passive. Like they just kind of spit a bunch of mucus out and then wait to see if something happens to get caught in it and then slurp it back in.
I see.
So what some species of sea angels will do, so the species Cleopsis croni, will actually find the mucus web and intentionally get stuck in it. Like get stuck in it on purpose and then just stop and wait.
Huh.
Because it's much more sort of energetically like cheap to just wait. And then eventually the sea butterfly, not knowing there's a sea angel in its net,
Oh.
reels it in, not realizing that it's actually like pulling its own predator closer to it.
Right.
And then once the angel's on it, chomps
Huh.
him. Isn't that interesting?
It is.
So since this species relies on the prey to sort of hunt itself, this species of sea angel doesn't swim fast like the other sea angels. This one is a lot more slow. They have much smaller wings, and their body is like a lot rounder.
Yeah.
So you can see that like their body has really adapted to not just their own like hunting style, but and their hunting style is informed by the feeding ecology of their prey species. I think that's a really interesting like domino effect. I feel like that like because the sea butterflies feed this way, the sea angels take advantage of it this way, which means their body looks different. It's all very interesting to me.
Yes.
And then another thing I wanted to talk about is something they do that is quite interesting. It is, you'll see a lot of videos of this. They do a mating dance
Oh.
where I find a lot of snail and slug mating behaviors to be very interesting.
Yes.
Have you ever seen those videos of leopard slugs?
Uh-huh.
It's so cool. You know how they like spiral together? It looks so beautiful, doesn't it?
These are not words I would use for this.
What? It's pretty. Wait, are we thinking of the same thing?
You talking about like the snot ball thing they do?
Well, the snot ball, I mean, it's not really a ball, right? See, look, okay, that's pretty to me. Look, it looks like a glass sculpture or something.
So what are those structures, Ellen?
Well, so sea angels don't do those.
Oh. Okay.
They don't do that part, but sea angels do when they're mating. They do like stick together. They like latch onto each other, facing each other, and they just kind of like hang out like that for like hours at a time.
Oh.
And what's interesting about this is that sea angels, like a lot of gastropods, are known to be hermaphroditic.
Uh-huh.
So the same individual will produce both egg and sperm. Now, I saw a lot of sources describe them as being protandrous hermaphrodites, which we've talked about before. It means that an individual begins its life as male, and then at some point in its life cycle switches to female. We talked about this with some types of fish do this.
Right.
So it's like a sequential hermaphroditism, but actually there was a 2010 observation that included a close-up video of two mating sea angels in this Cleon limacina species that seemed to show both individuals fertilizing each other at the same time, suggesting that they might actually be simultaneous hermaphrodites, which is something that other snails and slugs do. Like, that's actually a pretty common, like, reproductive setup, I guess. So they could actually be simultaneous hermaphrodites, in which case every time they're mating, they're fertilizing each other. So each one is both fertilizing and being fertilized in the same interaction. And I think it's really lucky for like human researchers that the sea angel is transparent. Because basically, like in this video, they're like pointing out all the like internal reproductive anatomy. You can see everything.
Oh my gosh, give them some privacy.
It should be like have like a sensor bar over it. Now, what's kind of funny about this is that while they're stuck together, it's kind of like love bugs. They can still like do other stuff while they're stuck together. So they can still hunt. They can still feed. They're like going on about their business, just stuck, like sandwiched together. So they've kind of like Voltroned into like just a much larger sea angel.
I see.
Can you imagine being a sea butterfly and seeing two of these clowns roll up on you? Your days are numbered.
Pokemon double battle.
But you only have one, so you're like, oh no, I'm cooked. It's so over. I also think because I see these videos of this behavior labeled as their mating dance. I do think calling it a dance is generous to the point of questionability.
All right. Yeah,
are we calling this a dance? They're just kind of stuck together.
Sure.
I don't know. I feel like the words mean things, right? What do you think the criteria is for being a dance?
I'm sure it's the closest thing they get to a dance.
Well, sure, but like there has to be a limit as to what we actually call a dance, right?
Sure.
What dance move do you think meets the bare minimum requirements to be called a dance? Does the arms have to be involved? Does there have to be sort of like I think there has to be a rhythmic motion of some kind.
Yeah. A rough tempo.
So the last category that we rate animals on is aesthetics. It's just how nice this animal is to look at. I'm giving them an 8 out of 10. They're very cute. Their movements are quite graceful.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've seen one of these like in motion, but they do this sort of like figure 8 sort of wing motion that is very... You know what it reminds me of is those dancers that we saw at the Dia de los Muertos celebration last year. You know, the Mexican dancers with the dresses that when they like sort of like swish them around, they make this sort of like figure 8 like motion. That's what it reminds me of.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Also, I think there's nothing more adorable than a sinister cosmic horror lurking just beneath the surface.
Yeah.
It's great. It's very Cult of the Lamb, you know, like I like that. I like a cute kawaii with just like a hint of something deeply disturbing.
Yeah.
The inner demons are also hinted at very subtly by the pair of devil horns right on top of their head, which I actually couldn't find like a solid answer as to what those structures are. I think they're rhinophores, which we've talked about with other types of slugs before. They're basically like, they're kind of like antenna, just like fleshy antenna, right? They're like chemosensory organs.
So which sense are they primarily working off of to find their prey and mates?
It would be similar to our sense of smell. It would be sensing chemicals in the water around them. Okay. I don't think they have eyes. I'm pretty sure they do not have eyes. And I think that those like devil horns at the front of the head are rhinophores. That's just my best guess as to what those are. I couldn't actually confirm that. Okay. Now, one thing that I did want to say in aesthetics here is that sea angels are mostly transparent, but some of their organs are this really striking bright orange color. And this orange color comes from types of pigments called carotenoids. Oh. Do you remember when we talked about carotenoids? We talked about them a couple of times.
The first one that comes to mind are flamingos.
Yeah, and spoonbills.
Yeah, that pink color.
So it's the exact same concept there. Carotenoids are usually produced by algae, like different types of like planktonic algae, things like that. They produce those carotenoids. Carotenoids are also the types of pigments that give carrots their orange color. So algae produces the pigments. They get passed along up the food chain. In the case of the sea angels, the algae is eaten by sea butterflies. Right. And then the sea angels eat the sea butterflies. And that's another example of bioaccumulation. Yes. They accumulate the carotenoids.
And as it moves up the food chain, it gets more concentrated.
Yes, because there's another step above sea angels. Do you know what it is?
Ooh, let me see if I can guess.
So think cold waters, something that's going to be eating a lot of plankton around the poles.
North or south or both?
Sea angels live in both poles, but the thing I'm talking about is around the north. Oh. Think local.
Salmon?
It's salmon.
Oh.
Yeah, so that bright orange pink color in salmon, particularly chum salmon, like to eat sea angels.
Okay.
And that is the carotenoids from the plankton that they eat, and a lot of that is sea angels.
Interesting.
So when you look at a sea angel and you see those bright orange like organs and stuff like that, that's the same orange as the orange in the flesh of a salmon.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You know, when we were at the zoo lights the other day, Finley asked me what flamingos eat.
Oh.
The way I described it to him was just tiny little crabs.
Oh. He asked me something the other day. What did he ask me? He's been asking us a lot of questions about like dinosaurs and like, you know, questions about like why some dinosaurs are now birds. And he's been asking questions like that. And every time I think to myself, I'm like, okay, this kid is 5. How much do I actually like, how much of an answer does he actually want? Like, does he want like a 2-sentence thing? Does he really want the full info dump? Like, how hard do I go in this answer?
He's also very into pretend play lately. So.
Yes. So sometimes he doesn't actually want a real answer at all. Sometimes he wants me to play in the space.
He wants an adventure.
Yeah. Sometimes he wants a yes and. Which I'm like, man, I'm the right person if you have weird, obscure questions about like animals and dinosaurs, but like anything beyond that, I'm probably not your go-to. So finally, this is where we talk about things like conservation and pop culture. As for conservation, there's no like specific conservation status for sea angels because they're just found worldwide, right? Like there's not really a way I think you could get a firm assessment of the population for animals that are found all over the world. But there is one aspect of climate change that is particularly threatening to sea angels. And you actually mentioned it in the beginning of the episode. Do you remember what it was?
There's pH.
Yeah. So there's an overall trend of ocean acidification. Have you heard of this?
I think so, yeah.
Over time, basically, as part of climate change, the ocean is getting more acidic over time, which can be really, really bad for sea butterflies because the acidity of the water can dissolve those calcium carbonate shells, which in sea butterflies, they're already really thin. Like they don't have that much to work with. But also, I mentioned this earlier, but sea angels themselves do actually rely on a shell for protection in their larval stage.
Yeah.
So when they're babies, they do have a shell. They just grow out of it by the time they become adults. So sea angels stand to lose a lot to damage to the ocean. That makes the ocean more acidic. It just has these sort of worldwide effects. So take care of the ocean, you guys. It's pretty important.
Yeah.
Now, I also mentioned this earlier that sea angels are, you know, because this is where we usually talk about pop culture and media references and stuff. Sea angels are pretty obscure and I would say largely unknown in Western media. You really don't see anything about them in Western media.
Right. I want to say Animal Crossing was my first exposure to this animal.
Like, I'd never heard of them before in your life.
Yeah.
It may have been my first time thinking about them. I feel like I'd seen maybe pictures of them before or something. But it was definitely like my first sort of like time actually learning anything about them, probably even learning their names, which wasn't even their names. But they are much more popular in Japanese media than in Western media. So they appear a lot more frequently in Japanese pop culture. They're often mascots.
Oh.
They're like the mascot of an aquarium in Japan. So a lot of their merch has a really cute little like sea angel character.
Aww.
It's in a lot of designs for stuff. It's on a lot of toys. Like I mentioned, they're in Animal Crossing New Horizons. And also when you have a sea angel in like a tank, like on display, and you interact with it, you know how a lot of like sea creatures, when you have them in a tank, you can interact with them and they'll do something.
Sure.
When you interact with it, the tentacles come out.
Oh.
Like the feeding tentacles come out. It looks so spooky.
Oh, it's going to get you.
Also, I didn't really put 2 and 2 together until I saw some discussion about this, but Manaphy and Fione. Do you know what I'm talking about at all? Does this ring a bell at all?
This is from a generation I didn't really play, but I can picture it.
Yeah, so these are Pokemon from the 4th generation, so this would have been right after you kind of stopped playing.
Yeah.
Not me, though. Manaphy and Fione, weirdly, Manaphy, for a while, when they first came out, the only way you could get them was from Pokemon Ranger.
Oh.
Which was like a spin-off game for the DS where you had to use your stylus to like draw circles around a Pokemon.
Okay.
That game destroyed my DS's touchscreen
Oh,
because you had to
no.
like do circles really, really, really fast. And like to catch a really strong Pokemon, you'd have to draw like 30 circles around the Pokemon.
Okay.
And like just from trying to do it so fast, I like wrecked my DS. But that game was for a long time the only way you could get a Manaphy. And infuriatingly, Manaphy, if you breed one, you get an egg, and the egg hatches into Fione, the baby of it, which does not evolve back into Manaphy.
Womp womp.
Sucks. Hate that. So I didn't realize for a long time that they were based on sea angels, probably because I had not seen a sea angel before and did not realize that that's what it was supposed to be based on.
Yeah.
I thought it was just supposed to be a little like water drop. I don't know. They kind of look like Chows from like Sonic Adventure. So
Yeah, now
like,
that you mention it, yeah.
yeah. So I thought that I was like, I don't know, it's just a little water droppy guy.
What if the Chows are also based off of them?
It's sea angels all the way down. Always has been, I guess. Oh, there was also, I came across in the early 2000s, Sanrio sold Hello Kitty Cleone charms.
Okay.
In a lot of Japanese stuff, it seems like they call them Cleones, which is the genus that the sea angel belongs to.
Alrighty.
But they sold Hello Kitty Cleone charms and stuffed animals.
Aww.
And it was Hello Kitty in a little sea angel costume. It's so cute.
How
I
nice.
loved it. I mean, you know, I just found out that it exists, but I already
Yeah.
I saw you can still get some of them on like eBay and stuff. I thought about it.
Nice.
That's sea angels. I think they're real cute, and I love a cutie pie with a dark side. And that's exactly what they are.
Very nice. Thank you, baby.
Thank you. And thank you, dear listener, for hanging out with us and spending this time with us. I hope everyone is having a lovely and safe holiday. I hope that you are bundled up in a warm and cozy spot with a nice activity. I hope that you're relaxing and having a nice time.
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself. And if you liked what you heard today, I hope you leave behind some nice words for us in a review on your podcast app of choice. If you have an animal you'd like to hear us talk about on the show, you can send those to me at ellen@justthezooofus.com. You can also hang out with us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Discord, Blue Sky, stuff like that. Links to everything will be in the episode description, so you can go check those out. Also, head over to MaximumFun.org if you want to learn about the other shows on the network and how you can be a part of supporting our show, plus get access to our exclusive monthly bonus content like this month's episode, which is about books. We talk about books for like a good long time.
Yeah.
So if you want to hear us chit-chat about non-animal stuff, head over to MaximumFun.org. And finally, we'd like to thank Louis Zong for our theme music, which is very lovely and wonderful.
Thank you so much.
And thank you, dear listener. We'll talk to you later.
Bye, y'all.
Happy holidays. Stay warm. Say happy holidays, Christian.
Happy holidays.
Bye.
Bye.
Maximum Fun,
a worker-owned network
of artist-owned shows.
supported
Directly by you.